Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Snooker 19 career, the other O'Sullivan with me, Daniel. It's episode 23 and today we're back for another Snooker League match. We're playing against world number 2 Mark Selby and we're already part way through the game and it looks like it's going to be another tense one. We've had plenty of final frame deciders in the last few episodes and this one's going to be no different as we try and get through in the group stages after a mixed bag in our first 3 matches. Obviously in the last episode we played our first group game. That went to a deciding frame against Kyron Wilson, the world number 8, the highest ranked opponent we played before Selby, with a couple of others in between. We lost to world number 16 Jack Lisowski as well in the second match before winning our third group game last time out, and now we've really got a chance to recover if we can sneak this final frame against Mark Selby. He's been having a good season and he's won a couple of tournaments along the way, and although this one isn't a ranking event and it is going on a bit longer than I expected, now we've got to the 4th group game and we seem to be finding some form. We'd really like to keep it for the rest of the tournament. It'd be the perfect build up to the World Snooker Championship, a tournament we're obviously aiming towards winning. So if we go to our pro, you can see the last couple of group games. We did lose against Lisowski as we mentioned, but we did win 2-1 against Graham Dott. So that puts us back in contention to qualify, but we've got to get the victory against Selby today. Still a good career record overall, and not bad career earnings for the first year. We're close to breaking into that top 32, just about 13 or 14,000 away now. So hopefully with a couple of more big tournaments, and maybe even a big run in the Snooker World Championships, we might be able to make it up amongst the big boys, and there's certainly some work to do on that front. Of course the main thing is adding to the trophy cabinet. We've only got one in there so far. The Championship League is one we're chasing now, and the World Championship's obviously the main one in the middle. But let's go and get into this final frame against Selby. It is 1-1 in a best of 3 frame match, and we'll be back in a moment as Selby has the break off to take us into a deciding frame. Here we go then, final frame is Mark Selby to break. It's a pretty aggressive break off shot for him, spreading the reds nicely, and if he's left us even half a chance, we're going to abandon our safety play and go for it. We've obviously had a bit of dialogue in the comments the last couple of weeks about the way we want to play moving forward, and we'll discuss that throughout this frame, but it looks like we've got a good chance at a long pot. Okay, we've set up the red. It looks a pretty regulation long pot, and we're going to try and bulldoze our way off the top cushion and get back up for perhaps the blue. If not, maybe we'll hold for the black, but we'll need a lot of luck to get away with that. Generally, we have been playing a bit more safety in the last couple of matches, particularly against Graham Dott last time out, and I think we've got away with this and up for the blue, you know, although we've covered it with the red, so we're going to have to go up for the bulk colours. We've got a good chance at yellow or brown, so either of those should be a comfortable pot. We might go with brown just to get the angle, so we can come off the top cushion and go back down the table. That's the main thing we've got to focus on now, building a frame winning break, as when we leave it open, it seems that the top players are taking advantage now. They're certainly building the breaks better than before. We have seen some tense final frames where they've collapsed as well, but we haven't seen many of them recently. We've quite often been put to the sword. But we've managed to pot the brown and we're down for the red comfortably, but it's very hard to find a colour at this point. There's not many available, and we're going to have to go 100% power and try and get back up for the blue off one cushion. But generally we will be playing a bit more safety play. It has worked to an extent. It certainly did against Graham Dott, and we're starting to get a little bit more efficient at it, but I would certainly say we're nowhere near being a world beater. The red goes in and it's going to be a long green, but at least we've got a chance at another straightforward pot. It's an easy one, it's near enough straight, and again we can come off that bottom cushion and try and get back down the table. So 60% power, the green goes in comfortably. We've got to avoid that middle pocket, and we've done it quite comfortably in the end, but I don't know if we've got an easy pot on here. We're going to be relying on a little bit of luck. I think we've just about got away with it. We've got one long red we can get to. It looks a pretty tight squeeze, but I think we're going to get there. And again, we're going to try and force it off the top cushion. So we've got to get the power right. We're just 1% out, and that's been crucial as we've just collided with another red. Maybe the gap wasn't quite there, and we're gifting Mark Selby a chance. So if he takes advantage, that could have been our last shot, but hopefully the pressure will get to him as well. The first red goes in easy as you like, and he's got himself up for the colours to the middle pocket. Let's just see which one he goes for and make sure that it drops in, and then once he does that and gets on a red, we'll leave him to it for the rest of the frame. The yellow's in comfortably, and he's left himself perfect on 2 reds to the middle pocket, so Mark Selby's got a frame winning opportunity. Hopefully we'll get another chance at the table. Well, this is threatening to be one of the shortest episodes you'll ever see, as Mark Selby finally got into a bit of trouble on 50, but he's put a brilliant red in from an acute angle, and I don't know if he's got on a colour here, but he's almost done the job already. He leads by 42, he's done a fantastic job, and he's going to pot the brown, is he? He doesn't, he comes back off the jaws of the cushion. He hasn't left a red on, or has he, to the middle, but we've got to get high value colours now, and that's the problem we have at the moment. We've only got 9 points to play with, so when we pot the red we must get the colours in, and we've got to make sure it's a decent value one as well. So we're going to put this red into the middle pocket. That bit shouldn't be too tricky, but then we've got to try and screw off one cushion for the blue. Otherwise, if we go for the bulk colours, we've taken a bit of a hit before the last two reds. So 42% power, we very slightly underhit it, and we're going to cannon with the blue here, and that couldn't have ended much worse. We might end up having to go for the green, but we will try and cut the blue in if possible. I think it is a pretty simple cut, but I don't know if it's a risk we want to take. If we miss this, it's pretty much frame over, but are we willing to gamble at this stage? I think we go into, so 43% power, the blue drops in, but where's the cue ball going? It's heading down towards that bottom left corner pocket, but again we've just got away with it, as it rattles and stays just on the edge of the pocket. We've got two more reds remaining, neither of them are in potable positions, so this is where we get to test our safety play out. Can we find a shot to get the cue ball safe, up towards the corner cushion if possible? It might not be off that top red there, so I think we're going to have to go for the bottom one. We're just going to play it with around 25% power, off one cushion to get up for the top corner. The black's not at risk of going in the bottom corner pocket, and that looks a pretty good safety shot in the end. I don't think we could have possibly left a pot from there. With the yellow and the pink, it's actually a pretty tricky shot, and we might have got the snooker on the reds, though I think he can just about get an outside edge. He does, and it goes back up to the top corner cushion, as I'm starting to talk in cricket terms. It's a good safety from Mark Selby. We'd expect nothing less, to be honest, but I think we might be able to get this one in here. Is the black in the way? Do we take the gamble? So many questions we don't know the answer to. I'm going to risk the pot and try and come back up for the pink. If we manage to do that, it'll be one of the best shots of our career. 38% power. The red hits the edge of the pocket, it pushes the black away, and with the cue ball bouncing off the jaws of the middle pocket, I think we've left the red on as well. So this one certainly isn't going to be as lucky. Mark Selby won't throw the chance away. The red goes in and he's wrapped up the frame. We might as well stay and see the last few shots. See if he can wrap it up in style. He's got a chance to put another decent break on. He's going for the yellow, he's keeping it nice and simple, and he hasn't even tried to get on the last red. He's just played it safe to make sure he gets the points on the board, but he has got one slight issue now. He's snookered himself on the red. Hopefully he misses it and it puts us back in the game, but unfortunately that's not the case, and with 35 remaining on the table, we're more points behind and struggling. We're 39 behind, so it's just one snooker needed at the moment, but it's certainly not my forte. We're going to have a go at it, of course. It's something we've got to do. We're not going to go down with a whimper, particularly when it's just one snooker needed. But that's an absolutely awful shot, and I don't think the blue's going to come to our rescue. The red's safe, which I guess is a good thing. It will extend the frame by at least 2 more shots, but we certainly don't look like getting a snooker. Not the way we played that safety. Doesn't exhibit any of the skills we've learned, although Mark Selby's shot isn't great there, though he has sent the pink up the table safe, so he's making it even harder for us. We've set up another attempt at a safety shot. The red's going to fly down the table off a couple of cushions. We've underhit it hugely, and that's the end of frame. The blue's not going to save us, and the red's in a potable position. It's been an absolute calamity in terms of safety play. Mark Selby's leaning over the table, but I'm sure this red will drop in, and with it goes the match. Third time lucky. We've thrown it away at every opportunity. We've really not exhibited any of our best play here, and that pretty much puts us out of the Snooker Championship League. I'm not too devastated as it's not a ranking event, but it would have been nice to go into the World Championships with a little bit more form than this. We've not even managed a double figure break in this frame, and that's pretty disastrous from 3 attempts. As Selby goes for the yellow again, he's comfortably wrapped up this one. A fantastic bit of play from him. He's always a dogged fighter, he makes things hard, he makes you get involved in a battle, and he's done the same for us today, and he's come out on top psychologically. 52 points ahead now, just 22 left on the table, and we're only waiting to see if he can clear up. Probably not with the way he set up that blue, but he's not going to care as the job's already done. We've got a lot of thinking to do, and it's back to the drawing board again, and you can see in this sort of frame where we were forced into 1 or 2 safety exchanges, albeit against one of the best players in the world, while we don't try and do it too often, and we usually stick to long potting. We'll concede the frame and with it the match, the second time we've done that on camera in this tournament. Not the best performance this time, but hopefully we're getting all the bad ones out the way early. We want to be in form for the World Championships, and we've certainly got a lot of work to do to achieve that. I've got to be honest, it's one of the few tournaments on the real life snooker calendar I'm not too aware of, but the tournament's still going on now. A 5th group stage match, this time against Stuart Bingham. The opponents don't really get any easier, and I don't think we're going to win that one either. We'll go and play that and a couple more off camera. I'm hoping our next episode will be from the next tournament, but it depends on how many games there are, as if we can't get through enough off camera, we will have to come back for another one. But we'll try and get through to the next tournament. I think it's the China Open here. It is, and that's the penultimate tournament of the season before we get into the World Championship qualifiers. That's the one we're all waiting for, of course, and it's going to be the dramatic ending to the season. Hopefully we can get in form for that one, but the sign certainly didn't look good today. So 4 group matches gone, we've lost 3 of them, we're almost certainly out, so it's pretty much a dead rubber against Stuart Bingham, and we'll play in that way, give ourselves a bit more freedom, and try to attack and entertain the fans. But if you did enjoy this episode, and seeing us get absolutely thrashed by Mark Selby, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments how you're getting on in your career and how long this tournament goes on for. It's one of the only ones I've never really heard of in real life, so I'm not sure how long we're expecting to be playing, and I don't know how many group games we'd normally have, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise, but with the way we're playing I hope it's not too many more. Subscribe to the channel for weekly content from this Snooker 19 career every Friday at 4:30. There's also 3 episodes a week from our Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that supported that series, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough we did beforehand. I really have been so grateful for the support and can't thank you enough for giving it a try. There's also daily content from FM19. We've got a long-term story with Torquay United. We're trying to take them from the lowest playable division to the top of English and European football. Then we've got a new short-term challenge that started on Monday. That one's called Saving a Giant and replaces our long-term journeyman story, The Head Coach, which came to its natural conclusion last weekend. But a massive thank you to everyone for supporting the series and watching this one as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we move into the penultimate tournament of the season.